There are 7 big fears for anyone who wants to really fulfill their potential. That includes entrepreneurs, or if you're wanting to step into leadership and do more in your career, in your work, in your impact in the world. Those are fear of uncertainty, because you don't know what's going to happen. You're stepping into the unknown. The fear of isolation, because you might be going against the grain. If you're an entrepreneur, you might be working alone. If you're a leader, you certainly might be alone. There's fear of lack of structure, because if we're sticking with entrepreneurs, if you're just starting out, you're in startup mode, you're building a business, you don't know where to start. There is fear of lack of guidance, because you're having to make your own decisions. Fear of rejection, when you're making an offer or putting something out there in the world and people say no, and that's normal. Fear of failure, it's a big one. I don't think it needs explanation. And fear of visibility, because you're speaking a message that's really authentic and true to you and maybe unique. And it's scary to be visible because you might be rejected by the tribe, and that creates anxiety.
On the other hand, that fear makes us behave to be accepted by others. So we are self-validating what we are doing.
I would agree with you that we have to be human. We have to accept our humanity. We don't have to be human. We are human. And when we face a fear, we will experience a fear response, what's also known as fight, flight, freeze response. And it's important to be present with it rather than pretend it's not there or try and push through it, which will create more stress. I would say that being very self-aware helps me a lot. So continually working on my awareness of what's happening inside me, what fears are coming up, working on those fears, applying compassion, applying wisdom to work through situations. You can't not do it. It's part of the job description.
How do we deal with being more visible than looking back and realizing you have outgrown the work you previously created and no longer identify with it anymore? And that's a tricky one, because nobody was born a genius on the day one, right? It's not a zero-sum game where you can't really hide your past.
Feeling that little embarrassment and being okay with it is fantastic, because that means you can close that chapter, take what's good from it and reinvest it in going forward, and leave the rest. Say thank you very much and goodbye. And that's okay. If you're someone who's interested in growth, who wants to fulfill your potential, who wants to be a leader, who wants to be an entrepreneur, who's a creative mind, you are going to experience several creative cycles, not just one. You're going to experience many, 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 many more cycles. And so being agile, being flexible in your mind, in your emotions, to handle the emotional cycles of change is what's going to really enable you to fly. It's difficult to be positive or optimistic if you're not looking after yourself. And there are simple things like just self-talk that's soothing. So soothing self-talk has been shown to reduce our negative thoughts and our inner criticism. Take care of yourselves and give yourself a big dose of kindness and compassion first.